Welcome back to Story Sprout, the channel where heart-touching stories come to life and where every twist reminds us that kindness and truth can change destinies. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing family of dreamers, believers, and storytellers. Now let's dive into today's story, a tale that will keep you on the edge of your seat. There was once a man named Daniel, a hard-working single father who raised his little girl Emily with every ounce of love he had. Life had not been kind to him. His wife had passed away when Emily was just 2, and from then on, Daniel became both mother and father. He worked as a mechanic in a small neighborhood garage, never earning much, but enough to keep food on the table and a roof over their heads. Emily was his light, his reason to keep moving forward, even when the world felt heavy. On the other side of town lived Richard Montgomery, a powerful CEO known for his empire that stretched across industries. He was wealthy, feared, and admired, but his personal life was shrouded in secrecy. Richard had a daughter named Lily. The world knew very little about her, except for one detail that had been whispered about in society pages for years: she was born blind. Richard never spoke of it, and he kept her away from the media's eyes. People often wondered why a man with limitless resources never sought the best doctors for his child. But no one dared to ask him directly. One day, fate brought Daniel and Richard's worlds together. Emily's school was organizing a fundraiser event, and the Montgomery Foundation had been listed as a major sponsor. Daniel attended to support his daughter, never expecting to come face to face with the richest man in town. But as he stood in the hallway, waiting for Emily to finish her dance performance, he noticed a girl sitting quietly by herself. Her eyes were distant, unfocused, yet there was something hauntingly familiar in them. That was Lily Montgomery. Emily, full of innocence, walked up to the lonely girl and introduced herself. Lily smiled, but she kept her head tilted, as though she couldn't quite place where Emily's voice was coming from. Daniel, observing from a distance, felt a strange pull in his heart. He had seen many children before, but Lily's mannerisms reminded him of something he couldn't quite explain. The next week, Daniel's garage received a call. A luxury car had broken down nearby, and the owner wanted the best mechanic immediately. To his surprise, the car belonged to none other than Richard Montgomery himself. When Daniel arrived at the mansion to inspect the vehicle, he was ushered into the grand halls where he once again saw Lily. This time, she was practicing on a piano, her fingers moving gracefully across the keys. Richard appeared, towering and intimidating, but Daniel couldn't stop himself from asking, "Sir, forgive me, but has your daughter always had trouble with her eyesight?" Richard's eyes darkened. "She was born blind," he said curtly, as though the conversation was closed. But Daniel, who had spent years taking Emily for checkups after she had minor vision problems as a child, recognized certain signs. The way Lily responded to sounds, the way her pupils reacted faintly to light, these were not the traits of total blindness. His instincts as a father told him something was wrong. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He remembered Emily's doctor once telling him that some children are misdiagnosed, and with proper care, their vision could be restored. Why had no one done this for Lily? Was it neglect, or something darker? Driven by compassion, Daniel reached out to an old friend, Helen Morris, a pediatric specialist who had treated Emily years ago. He explained what he had seen, and she agreed to help, but warned him that confronting a man like Richard Montgomery could be dangerous. Still, Daniel knew he couldn't turn his back. The next time Richard's car broke down, almost as if fate wanted to help, Daniel was called again. While repairing the engine, he managed to speak privately with Lily. "Do you ever see light? Shapes? Anything at all?" he asked gently. Lily hesitated, then whispered, "Sometimes I see shadows, but Daddy tells me not to talk about it." Daniel's heart sank. He realized Richard had been hiding the truth. Lily wasn't born blind. Something was being kept from her, something that could change her life forever. Gathering his courage, Daniel arranged a private meeting with Richard. "Sir," he began, "forgive me for speaking out of place, but your daughter deserves a proper medical evaluation. She may not be completely blind. With treatment, she could regain her sight." Richard's face hardened like stone. "You will never speak of this again," he snapped. "Do you understand? My daughter's condition is not your concern." Daniel left the mansion, but the fire inside him only grew. He couldn't stand by and watch Lily live in darkness if there was even a chance to help her. He confided in Emily, who innocently said, "Daddy, maybe Lily just needs a hero." Those words gave him strength. Against all odds, Daniel arranged for Dr. Morris to discreetly examine Lily during a community event where both girls were present. The results confirmed his suspicion: Lily's blindness was not congenital. With surgery and therapy, she could very likely see again. When Richard discovered what Daniel had done, his fury was unimaginable. He threatened to ruin Daniel's life, to shut down his garage, to take Emily away. But Daniel stood firm. "You can destroy me," he said, "but you can't destroy the truth. Your daughter deserves the chance to live fully. Keeping her in the dark, literally and figuratively, is not protecting her. It's imprisoning her." For the first time, Richard's cold exterior cracked. Tears welled in his eyes. He revealed the truth. Years ago, when Lily was a baby, doctors had told him her vision might never be perfect. Out of fear and pride, he convinced himself she was blind forever. He thought shielding her from hope would save her from disappointment. In reality, he had been protecting his own ego. Shaken by Daniel's courage, Richard finally agreed to let Morris treat Lily. The surgery was long and complex, but when Lily opened her eyes and saw her father's face for the first time, the entire room wept. She looked at Daniel and Emily and whispered, "You were my heroes." Richard, humbled beyond words, embraced Daniel. "I have wealth, power, everything money can buy," he admitted, "but you gave my daughter the one gift I couldn't, hope." From that day forward, Richard became a changed man. He supported Daniel's garage, funded scholarships for single parents, and most importantly, became the father Lily truly needed. As for Daniel and Emily, they had gained more than friends, they had gained family. And so, this story reminds us that sometimes it doesn't take riches or influence to change a life. Sometimes, all it takes is courage, compassion, and the willingness to speak the truth, even when it's dangerous. Thank you for watching Story Sprout. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we bring you stories every week that prove kindness is more powerful than wealth. Until next time, remember, every act of courage plants the seed of a miracle.